welcome to Finance Gyan Plus YouTube channel. Today I have brought another problem related with break-even point. Now let's see the problem. So here Krishna Sportswear Incorporation manufactures t-shirts. Krishna sells its t-shirts to retailers for rupees 300. Each Krishna's annual fixed cost are rupees 6 million and Krishna's break-even with annual sales of 25,000 units. So here you have to find what is the operating break-even point in rupees, what is the variable cost per unit, what is the profit volume ratio, and what is the Krishna's pre-tax income earning before interest and tax if 25,000 units are sold. So here these are the information given and these are the questions asked here. So let's solve this problem. So next slide first given here your selling price per unit per t-shirt, selling price per unit or per t-shirt is rupees 300. And now fixed cost, annual fixed cost FC equal to rupees 6 million. Krishna's break-even point with annual sales, so break-even units, break-even point units, BP units is 25,000 units. So now you have to find here operating break-even point in rupees, what is the variable cost per unit, what is the profit volume ratio, what is the Krishna's pre-tax income EBIT if 25,000 units are sold. So here I will directly find these required items here. So instead of writing each and every items with question mark, I will directly solve this question with writing the top points here. So here now let's see the solution. Solution for A, calculation of operating break-even point in rupees. So here now operating break-even point in rupees, BPRS equal to here BP units into selling price per unit. BP units into selling price unit. Selling price per unit will give you BP rupees. Here BP units is your here 25,000 units and selling price per unit is here 300. So your value will be rupees here 25,000 into 300, that is your rupees 75 lakh. Now after finding BEP rupees, now second you have to find what is the variable cost per unit. So here calculation of variable cost per unit, So to find variable cost per unit, you have to use here break-even point units. So here break-even point in units, here BEP units equal to fixed cost upon selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So here you have to find the variable cost per unit here, or so break even units is given in the question here 25,000. Now fixed cost is your 60 lakh. 60 lakh is the fixed cost, 6 million, and your selling price per unit is 300, and here variable cost per unit you have to find variable cost per unit. Okay, so now here, so let's solve this. So here you can write 25,300 minus variable cost per unit equal to 60 lakh. So now again let's complete this. So here now from here or 300 into 25,000 minus 25,000 variable cost per unit equal to 60 lakh, or this is your 75 lakh. 75 lakh minus 25,000 variable cost per unit equal to 60 lakh. So here or 75 lakh minus 60 lakh equal to 25,000 variable cost per unit. Okay, or 25,000 variable cost per unit equal to 15 lakh. After deducting here 75 lakh minus 60 lakh, you have 15 lakh, or variable cost per unit equal to 15 lakh divided by 25,000. So your variable cost will be now 15 lakh divided by 25,000, that is rupees 60 per unit. 60 per unit is the variable cost per unit. Now after finding the variable cost per unit, now you can find the profit volume ratio. Profit volume ratio. So here now your third is calculation of profit volume ratio. Calculation of profit volume ratio. Here profit volume ratio means here contribution margin ratio. Okay, you can say contribution margin ratio for profit volume ratio. So you can write here PV ratio. So here PV ratio, or you can also write contribution margin CM ratio. So PV ratio equal to selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit upon selling price per unit. This means your selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit means your contribution margin per unit divided by selling price per unit, then you will get contribution margin ratio, that is PV ratio. So here selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit, that will be here selling price unit is here 300 minus 60, and again selling price 300. So that will be your 0.8. 0.8 is your PV ratio. So after finding PV ratio, now you can find here Krishna's pre-tax income EBIT for 25,000 units sold. Krishna's pre-tax income. The here calculation of Krishna's pre-tax income EBIT EBIT for 25,000 sales unit. So 25,000 sales unit is a BEP, break even point. So mostly the earning before interest and tax must be 0. So here now let's write earning before interest and tax equal to sales units into selling price per unit minus sales unit into variable cost per unit minus fixed cost. So here sales unit is your 25,000 and selling price per unit 300 minus again sales unit 25,000 and variable cost per unit 60 minus fixed cost is your 60 lakh, 6 million. So you can now find the value. So it will be 0 rupees, means the Krishna's pre-tax income and break-even point is 0. Okay, so just you have to substitute the value for these units, and then you can get earning before interest and tax 0, because at break-even point there is no profit and no loss. Okay,